Hey, Catalyst Church, we're going back to Sunday school.
My people, stand to your feet. Y'all ready? Stand up if you can. If you got health issues, that's okay. Sit down and conserve your energy. Y'all ready? Before we go back to Sunday school, I just want to thank all the staff, all the leadership, all the church family that over the last several months and even the last year, you have poured time, sweat, shift, change, hard work, no matter the cost, to make Catalyst better. And y'all, Catalyst is better. We're better than we've ever been, and we're doing more ministry. The presence of God is thicker, and it is because we keep plowing the field, sowing the seed, and we're doing it together. I don't know about y'all, but I can't wait for this fall, because God's going to blow our mind more than He's already blown our mind. Are y'all ready? Thank you for being that church. Thank you for being that church. Tell somebody I'm ready to go back to Sunday school. You better say it louder. Online, help me wherever you are. Welcome. And if you're in the West Georgia area, why in the world ain't you in the room? We love you, and God's got something. The room's better. Is the room not better, Catalyst? It's better. It's better. Yes, I hope God speaks to you and you feel God's love in ours. Y'all ready to go to Sunday school? 2 Kings chapter 13. Tell somebody, say, I want some. I want some. I want to take you. Elisha is terminally ill. This is his last rodeo, his last life lesson, his last investment into the king of Israel. It says when Elisha was in his last illness, he was dying, he was on his deathbed. He had lived a great life, did a great ministry, kind of like the Last Supper for Jesus. What's the last coaching session you get with your people, your kids? It matters, right? It's a big deal. And so it says King Joash of Israel visited him and wept over him. My father, my father. He had listened and received from Elisha his entire kingship. He said, I see the chariots and the charioteers of Israel. Here's the thing is, Israel is in war. You got some wars going on in your life. You got some battles you've been fighting for years in your brain, in your home, in your past, there's something, there's disabilities, diagnoses, financial stuff. Tell somebody, say, I'm in a war too. I'm in a war too. He's saying he's grieving. It said he cried. He's grieving because they're fighting a war and he's about to lose one of his greatest patriarchs. This church lost Wayne a couple weeks ago, a patriarch, a father who carried this church. And it's scary sometimes when you lose people that are pillars in your life. Sometimes you got to realize that God's still got victories for you when it ain't going to look the same. It ain't going to look the same this season in your life because of losses. But it's still going to be good. Tell somebody, say, I'm ready. He was crying. He was grieving. Elisha told him, get a bow. Get a bow and some arrows. And the king did as he was told. Tell somebody, say, I got to do what God tells me. Elisha told him, put your hand on the bow. And Elisha laid his hands on the king's hands. He blessed him. He prayed over him. That's what we do at this altar. We pray over each other. Not just me and Bradford. We pray. We lay hands on each other. It matters. We have authority that God has given us. Then he commanded, open that eastern window. And he opened it. Then he said, shoot. You better tell somebody right now, say, shoot. Say, shoot. So he shot an arrow. Elisha proclaimed, this is the Lord's arrow, an arrow of victory over Aram, who they were fighting a war against. It was the Syrians. For you will completely conquer the Arameans, the Syrians at Aphek. Then he said, now pick up the other arrows and strike them against the ground. That's another word for shoot them. Tell somebody, say, shoot. Now, you better say it with authority before you even know what I'm preaching on. Say, shoot! So the king picked them up and struck the ground 3 times. King Joash shot 3 arrows, but the man of God was angry with him. You should have struck the ground 5 or 6 times. If you wanted to win the war, you better not leave these arrows unshot. If you really want it, you aren't going to let scared, what you're ashamed of, what you're terrified of, what you're traumatized by, you're not going to leave the arrows holstered. If you want to win, tell somebody, say, shoot. He exclaimed, then you would have beaten Aram until it was entirely destroyed. You would have won the war completely. You would not keep having setbacks if you would shoot your arrows and not just shoot 3 and half-hearted, insecurely shoot them. So now, he said, you will be victorious only 3 times. You will have setbacks. You keep taking 3 steps forward and 7 steps back, which is why 50, 20, 30, 10 years later, you don't have the momentum you had. You're step backwards, not forward, because you're not. Tell somebody right now, say, shoot your shots. Oh, I'm about to preach. I'm about to sleep all the way to the beach after I leave here today. Say, shoot your shots. Shoot your shots. It matters. I didn't say shoot your shot. I didn't say shoot some of your shots. I didn't say just shoot for the stars on your dreams. I said every day, every season, no matter what you're facing, no matter the shame, no matter the past, no matter the guilt, no matter the addiction, no matter the impossibilities that are in front of you, no matter how big the mountains and the message, I want you to say it together. Say, shoot your shots. All of them. As you're seated, tell 3 people, say, shoot. Lord, I know I'm extra. You made me this way. It's your fault. But Father, help me preach this message, not just inspiring and encouraging. Help me preach it clearly. Pour your perspective, your hope out in this place. This is such a simple story. It's easy to preach. It's hard to apply. It's simple, but it ain't easy, Father. Pour yourself out today. Help us be people that shoot. We shoot our shots. We step in faith. We walk into the Red Sea just like Moses did, just like CC said. The Red Seas don't part till you step into the impossibilities. You don't get to wait. God don't split it before you step into it. So, Father, help us shoot and step. Teach us today. Speak to us. The people watching online, no matter why they're online or if they're across the world, or they're across the street watching and they should be in this room, speak to them. If they can't be in this room, speak to them, Father. In Jesus' name, amen. Tell somebody, say, shoot! Shoot. It's a very simple story. It's a life-changing one if you actually put it to work. Because what do we believe, Catalyst? The word works if we work it. And what do? We work it. You want to work it? Tell somebody, say, shoot. Shoot. Elisha, who we don't talk about Elisha nearly as much as Elijah. Elijah is the one everybody preaches on a lot and stuff. Here's the thing is Elisha was mentored by Elijah. He was actually the successor of Elijah. He did double the miracles, double the ministry. This man is at the end of his life. He did more. He don't get the street cred of Elijah, but he did way more than Elijah. And this mighty man of God is sitting on his deathbed. I'll tell you one thing. One of the biggest, the best value I get from people are people who are seasoned. Them gray hairs, I don't care if we disagree on certain methods and stuff, I know that I can receive from people that got more experience. So this man of God has something to offer. He's on his deathbed, his last assignment. And Joash comes to him and says, he's grieving him. We ain't going to win this war. We're losing a pillar right in the middle of a big fight. He's grieving. And Elisha says, take the arrows. In other words, pick up the bow. By the way, I let this arrow down here just in case. I'm not country. Corrine's son, Dawson, thank you, Dawson, wherever you're watching from. Corrine, thank you. I'm not even connecting these because even though I don't know how to shoot accidentally, well, that would shoot me, wouldn't it? Like I said, we keeping them separate. I got enough criticism. Catalyst got enough criticism to be we shot an arrow. I probably won't hit you if I shoot it. It probably hit a chair, but he tried to shoot me. No, I didn't. So we're going to keep them separate. You got to keep it separated. Yeah, no, old people, if you got to be old to know that song, I'm just saying. You got to like alternative music too. Tell somebody, say shoot. He said, pick up the bow and arrow. Pick it up. I want you to pick it. He is teaching a symbolic message. This is not some strategic, you're going to shoot out the window and you're going to hit this mark, or you're going to shoot it and I'm going to take the arrow 100 miles and hit the king of Syria. No, I want to show you a principle. I want to teach you a lesson with my last breaths. Breaths may not exist, but I made that word up and I can because I have the mic. He says, take the arrow. First, you got to pick it up. Tell somebody, say, pick it up. Pick it up. See, the arrows represented victory over Syria, victory over the war they're fighting. The arrows still in your life, in your situation, they represent the battles and the wars you're fighting. The arrows represent victory. Joash understood the connection. He understood that these arrows represent victory. That I don't have to know the details of what he's about to ask me to do, or I don't have to have all the answers. These arrows represent victory. He understood it. He understood it. There was no excuses. And now I'm leaving you with no excuses. The arrows that I'm preaching on today represent victory in your life. I didn't say the arrows getting shot at you. The arrows you're shooting represent victory. Okay? You got me? Tell somebody, say, I got you. Actually, tell me. I need you to talk to me. Say, I got you. I like being talked to. Angie knows we in the car. She just wants silence. I want her to talk to me. I'm a words person. We got to compromise. So today we compromise my way. Talk to me. Talk to me. Say, take the freaking arrows. I didn't say take. Okay, that's cool. I just made y'all say freaking. That's awesome. I say it a lot. I don't care. Your kids are in here. It's your fault. I'm not a PG preacher, and you're going to see today, several moments, you're going to have explanations later. That's why we do catechids. By the way, I would say that whether I was a PG preacher or not, but I am not. I did not grow up PG. I don't do PG. I hate kids' movies. I just make sacrifices for kids I love and go sit down and have nap time in them. I won't even tell y'all what we've been binge watching this week, but never mind. Take the arrows. Tell somebody, say, take the arrows. Take them. Take them. He said, he said there was an open window. Notice he said, take it, an open window. He shot it out an open window. Here's the thing is everybody loves to memorize scripture. That's why everybody loves to read it and memorize it. They ain't got no idea the context. Most people don't. Most people who post scripture think they know everything. They know nothing, because the stuff I'm preaching today is the stuff you got to work to get. You got to want it. You don't just read it for content. You don't read it just for information. You read it for transformation, and it'll speak to you. Everybody loves some generic check-a-box faith. You don't get that at Catalyst. You want that. There's a lot of places, but this probably ain't one for you. Because God wants to do therapy, and these stories may seem silly until you actually start reading between the lines. Memorize the lines all you want to. You don't read between them and receive them. You can read them even in between them. You don't receive it and do something with it. It don't work. So he says, open window. It's very important. He said an open window, because what do? We shoot our arrows and shoot our shots through closed windows, closed doors. You force things. Your biggest heartbreak, your greatest trauma in your life, the things that have gone sideways that you're still recovering from 20s and 30s, and you 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, I don't know. I may have some 90-year-olds in this mug. We'll see. Because they get mad at me later. You calling me out? No, I didn't know. I'm sorry. You look good for your age, by the way. It's an open window. What we do is we force doors open. We force relationships. We force people to like us. We go brown-nose a coach and pay them a check to get our kids to play, because we know our kids. We don't even let our kids fight battles because we want to fight them for them. And I'm telling you, we force doors open, and they bite us. They pop us right back in the nose. And they break your nose, or break your heart, or break your bank account. You end up in a divorce that you spend 10, 15 years recovering from. You know the way you don't do that? Don't marry them. Stay single and find yourself for a minute. There's some people in here got multiple divorces that tell you, young people, please listen to him. The reason you ain't attracted to healthy people is because you never got to figure out and be one. We force things. We force opportunities. We force people. We love the dopamine hits on social media because we want to force encouragement, because you're not getting encouragement at home from your spouse, or your parents aren't nurturing you. So you go on social media, and it's like a drug. You want them dopamine like hits, and then you feel worse than when you posted it, because not that many people liked it and shared it today and commented with a fire emoji. Girl, you fine. Nobody commented, I must suck. That's a drug. We force things. We don't shoot through open windows. So that's the first thing. When he shot this shot I'm about to talk about, it's through an open window. Number one, it says eastern window. Very important, very important. If you really want to grow today, it's very important. An eastern window. When you look at the Old Testament, when King Saul built the temple, I believe this is when it was mentioned. If it's mentioned somewhere, if it's not, I promise I've read it. It's there. This wasn't in my notes, but it's important. An eastern window. Solomon said, pray. They taught in the Old Testament to pray to the east. Why? The east is Jerusalem. It's the holy city. It's the promised land. Okay, I love that our backstage team, Mimi and Cece, I love this statement. What if the promised land isn't a place but a mindset? You have a promised land. The will of God and the promise for your life, no matter where you are, where you've been, what you've done, God has a promised land for you. Yours ain't mine, mine ain't yours, but you got one. That's the gospel. It's the gospel. And so the promised land, east, represents the promised land. I want you to face Jerusalem. When the psalmist says, fix thine eyes on things above, look above the hill, look above the mountain, look above the mist, focus on Jerusalem, focus on the will of God, the promise of God. So he says it's not just an open door, an open opportunity. People give you you may date a person, it may go great, y'all were compatible, but you ain't together, and you're both not seeking the Lord with everything you got. You marry somebody that's half-hearted faith, you're going to live a half-hearted life. You ain't going to make them full faith. You're going to end up struggling and end up divorced or hating each other and not growing your kids up in church. It's not just an open window. God will give you open. The dating may be great. Y'all may have great sex. Y'all don't argue a lot, all that stuff. But are you on the same page and growing and hoping for the same things? I got married to Angie within 6 months of dating her because we had a lot of 3 a.m. conversations, even though I was working 2 jobs, because I was going to make sure we're building the same. The reason you're here today is because we made our mind up in those 6 months of dating and what we were building, and we weren't compromising it. We didn't share as much spit. Actually, we still did that. But we had a lot more conversations than y'all jokers do. It's an open window towards the east, towards the promise of God, the will of God for your life. If it ain't that, don't shoot out of it. Don't shoot towards it. It ain't the direction of God. Also, the target is, notice there's not a target. Before I really preach this mug, I want you to notice there's not a target. Because the target is faith. There are no details. He says, shoot the arrow out the window. Shoot it out the window. Oh, if I want that back, I'm jumping off the stage. Oh, Chico, this dude is awesome. Y'all give it up for Chico. You are awesome. Thank you. And green, it matches. You see that unity right there? You look good in green, Chico. I know why Carrie likes you. You are pretty cute. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, Carrie went and he pulled a case, and Carrie said, thank you. So anyway, back to the business. So the target, there was no details. There was no target. Just shoot. Joash didn't get details. He got an assignment and a promise. You don't get details. With God, did Mary get details when God said, we celebrated Christmas? Jesus said, hey, you got some bread in the oven. You ain't even had sex. You may get stoned to death before you even get out of the day. But hey, you found favor with the Lord. That don't sound like favor. You don't get details. You get an assignment. And an assignment is usually in the form of a mountain or an obstacle or an adversity. But I'm telling you, it is an advantage and an opportunity if you'll see it that way. But you got to learn to shoot. And so the target, there is no target because you don't get details. He doesn't say, hey, shoot this thing and I'm going to take the arrow 1,000,000 times further and I'm going to end the war. He says, shoot the freaking arrow. The point is to shoot. Shoot the arrow. And so Joash understood the assignment. You understand the assignment. I really don't have to preach to you a lot today about what you need to do because you know the shots you're not taking. You know why you're not taking them. The Bible says the law of God is written on every man's heart. So you know what you need to do. I just want to give you some juice today to have the guts and the faith to shoot. We walk by faith. We live by faith. We don't talk it. We don't lift our hands. That's just the first step. But if it don't take some action, I'm telling you, God wants you to shoot. Tell somebody, say, shoot. So what Joash did is he shot 3 shots. He said, remember, the arrows represent victory. And instead of shooting 5 or 6, he shot 3. He was ineffective, and Elisha was mad. Elisha said, bro, if you really wanted to win the battle over Aram, if you really want to win the battle over your mind, over your addiction, over your marriage problems, over your past, over the trauma, over the financial issues that you've been bankrupt 2 times now and you can't go bankrupt again, you about to lose your house. You don't even know how you're going to make ends meet by the end of the week. And whatever it is, you know the shots you need to take. You know the shots you're not taking. Whether you're scared, ashamed, you know. Joash understood the assignment. We understand the assignment. He shot 3. He was ineffective. We are ineffective because we don't shoot all our shots. It wasn't that he didn't shoot. You shoot 3, 1, 2, once a month. He was ineffective because he didn't repeat. The reason your life is a big rerun of drama and dysfunction is because you don't repeat. It's not that you don't shoot 1 or 2 shots. It's not you don't try to come to church when you can. It's not you're not trying. It's because you're not repeating. Big deal. You make a few good decisions a week, whoopee, you won't be whole unless you continue to make more decisions every week and repeat. Tell somebody, say repeat, say shoot. Shoot, repeat. Your life will be a rerun of the same drama, just different seasons, different faces if you don't repeat. Repeat. So he was ineffective because he didn't shoot all his shots. We like to shoot the shots we want to take. But you got to shoot all your shots. You got to shoot all your shots. And so here's my message today. If you're not, you're not losing because you're missing. You're losing because you're not shooting enough. You are not losing because you're missing. As a matter of fact, you're not winning if you're not missing. We strike out a lot at Catalyst because we hit a lot more home runs than most people. Do you know why? We swing the freaking bat. Amen. I met with 30-something leaders yesterday in Cast Vision. I told them, I'll have you back. Make some mistakes because this church don't grow unless you shoot. I'll have you back. We'll talk about doing it better next time, but you will not be reprimanded if you're swinging and shooting. But you're not losing because you're missing. It's not the losses, it's the stopping. You're losing. You're losing because you're not shooting enough. You shoot all your errors if you really want, and if you don't, you don't. But shooting 3 is really worse than shooting none. Tell somebody, say repeat. Repeat. Take the errors, shoot. He shot 3. I want to start here. Before I talk about the big battles, we need to talk about the small battles, the small shots, the small changes, the small errors that we shoot. Because here's the thing is, we think small stuff is petty, menial, and has little effect on our life, and that couldn't be more untrue. Couldn't be more. The small choices and small shots that you choose to take every day, every moment, every part of the day, they will make or break your life. They have an accumulative effect on your life, like compound interest in a retirement. My papa Scudder, he died in 2023 at 96 years old. The man had plenty of money. My mama's taken care of to this day in her 90s. Always with my mom and their siblings will have an inheritance, a nice one, because he little by little always added to his retirement. It wasn't that he put a lot at one time. He constantly fed it. What you get when you retire is more than what you put in because it compounds. What does Jesus say? Jesus talks a lot about seeds. You reap what you sow. You harvest way more than what you put in the ground. Seeds grow bigger over time. When Jesus talks about faith and he says faith the size of a mustard seed can move mountains, it's not that a small mustard seed can move mountains of faith. It's that it starts small, but it grows into a mustard tree, which is very large over time. A squash can grow in like 30, 40 days. Ain't nothing to a squash. It tastes good, but it ain't real awesome. Oak trees last generation, or mustard seeds last a long time. Oak trees do. Seeds, you reap what you sow, and you reap a lot more than you sow because it happens little by little. So we underestimate small shots. Amen. The small shots are where we start. You actually don't win big battles until you win small victories. Greater things start with smaller things. I am more functional than I used to be. I am more effective and efficient than I used to be. I didn't make there is no silver bullet in life. There is small changes, small shots that you take. For example, matter of fact, tell somebody right now, say, shoot! Coming to church today was a shot. You could have slept in a bed. You could have slept in, you had a long day. Somebody online's watching right now, they did so. No shame, but it's a shot. Watching online and consuming content and playing it safe is a shot. You make your shots or you don't. Small shots accumulate and they make or break your life. It's a shot. Don't underestimate the value of going to bed early. For real, don't. Me and Angie are learning right now that if I go to bed at 10 or 10:30, I can get up early, get my time, because my job takes a lot out of me, especially people. And if I don't get my time in the Word, seeking God, not working on a sermon, give me a few months and I'm not in a good place. We both have worked a lot of hours, so has our entire staff and leadership the last 9 to 10 months a year, because we have put the work in. I'm so proud of the staff and leadership of this church. They have busted their tail and paid the price to do good Christ-like ministry. However, we went home and we wanted chill time, so we started staying up late and getting up early. It did not do well for us. So now we've had to learn to go to bed. Don't ever underestimate a good night's sleep. I learned how much I needed rest and sleep by getting neck surgery when I realized I hadn't slept in years because of my neck pain, and I got that major neck surgery, and guess what? I actually can sleep now. Go to bed. Get off your freaking screen. It keeps your brain spinning. Go to bed. Don't ever underestimate the power of getting up early. That's a shot. Sleeping till 10:30 on Saturday is not good unless you're 12. Just saying, you're like, well, you're a morning person. Man, I wasn't a morning person until I got in my early 30s, and I realized mornings, I understand why Scripture is a habit you begin to make. It's a shot. And when you get up, what do you do when you get up? Do you get up late, hit the snooze button? Because snooze button's terrible for psychology, for your mindset. By the way, it actually is proven to increase chances of dementia at a young age. Your brain does not rest. Hitting the snooze button may satisfy you in the moment. It is terrible for you. I stopped hitting it a long time ago. Get up. What do you do when you get up? Do you get up and throw your clothes on because you're running late and you get a speeding ticket on the way to church? I'm not going to say any names, but several people in our staff have done that lately. I'm not going to say any names, Bradford. Sorry. What do you do when you get up? Because I'm going to tell you what you should do. Read something for 10 minutes. Listen to a podcast. You don't have to do 30 or an hour. 10 minutes. This has helped me over the last couple of years. I've had leaders invest in me how to do small things, not the big things, the small things that keep my brain functioning well and growing, because if I don't grow, you won't. I have to grow before anybody does. 10 minutes, podcast, book, journal, write down your prayers, and then write down when they get answered. One of the things I actually need to do, I've been praying about it, is I need to write down all the things I'm praying for and the things that God has answered, because you build a faith in God when you actually see how much He's actually come through for you. You write it down. 10 minutes. I make declarations. You want to stop talking negative over yourself? And all this negative talk, it pisses me off. I tell everybody on staff, as soon as they get negative talk, I'm like, shut up. You know how you stop? Because your negative self-talk is why your life sucks. You start talking the promise of God over your life. You know how I do it? I get up and I recite my declarations every single day. And when I miss a day, it affects me. Start with faith declarations. That's a shot. I take shots. I do that before I even get off the toilet in the morning. I'm going to say my declarations and pray, and then we'll go to the next thing. It's a shot. Texting people when you think about them is a shot. You want to start adding value to your life and other people? When you think about somebody, don't withhold love. It's a shot. I was told about a year ago, you should text at least 2 people a day that you care about and tell them, hey, you don't have any idea how far. Hey, I'm thinking about you, man, praying for you, hope you're good. But what we do is we withhold. We don't shoot. We don't become vulnerable. We just think about them. Oh, I was thinking about you the other day. Why didn't you text? Why didn't you call them? If you think about somebody, it's God telling you to reach out to them. I've reached out to people over the last 6 months that despised me. And I began to reconcile over 2 to 3 texts. because I decided not to withhold. It's a shot. Hey, you may get hurt, but are you shooting? Because healing don't happen unless you shoot. Until somebody says shoot. Small changes. Drink a Diet Coke instead of a regular Coke at lunch today. Diet Mountain Dew instead of Mountain Dew. I'm telling you, all my people like me that you look at food and that you gain weight, try the small things. Instead of that baked potato and French fries with your steak, eat a salad or some greens. For somebody like me, who I'm 120 pounds smaller than I used to be, and I got to stay there because of my back and because of longevity, begin to do the small things. Quit overhauling your diet and trying to starve yourself. That's not a good way to do it. Start small. Start choosing to eat healthy one meal a day. You don't have to get the white bread. You don't have to get the fried foods. Don't underestimate the value of small shots, because they accumulate, and God will break you through battles. God will break you through battles that you think have no connection with the small changes, but He honors shots. Make small shots, man. Take a day off. Put your freaking phone up and be present with your family. I'm going to the beach after church today. I'm going to St. Augustine. I'll be back. I ain't going to miss the weekend, but we going to chill. I'm ghosting you all week. If the church burns down, call the insurance company staff. I'll be back. Same for Bradford. He's not here today because that joker has worked his tail off this year. That dude is leading at a high level and has made my life so much lighter and better. And he's reached more people because of men like Bradford. And he is not here. He is on vacation. Don't you dare text him this week. He'll cover for you, and I'll have to pry it out of him if you did. Put it up. Put it up. Be with the people that matter and disengage. It's a shot. You repeat that. You don't just do it once, you begin to repeat it consistently. Wash the dishes. That is the best foreplay ever, by the way. Told you, kids in the room, your fault, not mine. You're going to have a sucky evening. There's kids ministry. I'm going to tell you one thing. You know what I did before I went to bed last night? Woo, I did it. It paid off too. Sorry. So you know what I did before I went to bed last night? Here it is. I washed that dog. I washed them dishes. I had that kitchen smelling delicious. You licked the counter. It was so good. You know why I did it? Kitchen sucked, clutter. It ain't rocket science. Angie looks at me. I wash the dishes. Didn't think, it's a shot, y'all. It's a shot. I realize I'm going to have a better vacation and a better evening. Maybe a few on the vacation, because this kitchen it smells delicious in this month. Heart emojis, y'all, heart emojis. I ain't got to fix the roof. Thank God she knows way more mechanical than me. I know I can call somebody, but you're going to handle it. Garrett cuts the grass about like me. I raised him. He misses spots. He can't weed eat worth a darn. I can't either. I'm 39. I can't judge him. But here's the thing is, all I got to do is wash the dishes. I've heard many a spouse who say the sexiest thing is somebody in the kitchen trying to help me. Somebody in the room trying to help me. I'm going to try to Angel get mad at me now because I got a bad back. Don't do that. Yes, I'm doing that. You're an act of service. I love you. I'm committed to you. It's a shot. It's a shot. Don't underestimate the value of shots. Wash the dishes. Wash the freaking, start there. It'll help you, I'm telling you. I'm moving on, by the way. What was I going to say? I know I got to preach. We got to go. What was I going to say? Oh, don't go out to eat. A couple times when you plan on going to eat, why don't you eat at home and save the money? You want to build that savings account? You're like, man, I'm running behind this month. Well, them Big Macs and Chick-fil-A ain't helping you. It may be Jesus chicken, but that depends on who you ask, but it ain't free chicken. It ain't them doggone Walmart great value patties. They cheaper. Processed meat is how you build where you can enjoy that steakhouse one day a little more often. Eat some processed meat like I did in my 20s. And even sometimes in the last few years when we've been a little low. Don't pay to get the grass cut. You cut it and then put the money you would have paid for the restaurant and grass in a savings account. You want to build it? Tell somebody, say, shoot. You want to have a rainy day fund and you broke? Tell somebody, say, shoot. Small things add up, bro. Small things add up, period. One arrow at a time. Begin to shoot. Come to church. Seek the Lord. Begin to seek. Read your word every day. Begin to speak the promises of God. And here's the problem. Repeat. Tell somebody, say, repeat. Shoot. You don't just shoot once, twice, 3 seasons, 3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months. Everybody goes to the gym in January and that membership's getting paid for but not used by February. You got to tell somebody, say, repeat. Now let's go to the big battles. The big battles, because let's face it, Israel was in a big battle. You're in a big battle. Your marriage is in a big battle. Your financial situation, you got a big battle. Your dome and your depression, there's a big battle going on in this dome. Depression, anxiety, you don't even know where to start. How do you beat Aram? Because we all have Aram. We all have Syrians. We all have issues. So whether it's yourself, you're your biggest enemy, or you got other people trying to hold you back because they don't trust you, they don't like you, you hurt them in your past, you're hurting them now, you're trying to find healing. There's always Aram. There's always Syria. How do you beat big battles? I'll tell you. Elisha said it. I don't have to tell you nothing. Elijah said, King Joash, if you really wanted to beat him, you would have shot 5 or 6, not 3. There's no target. It was just practice. Getting up in the morning and going to work and putting one foot in front of the other is just practice. You don't walk out of graves till you get up out of bed in the morning. You ain't got no life to live? Get up out of bed and the life will find you if you go find it. Big battles happen when you start shooting. They win. You want to be sober? You want to beat addiction? You don't shoot 3 shots. You shoot all of them. I'm going to tell you a story. I've told this over the years. I haven't told it a long time. Most of you probably don't know him. He's not here right now because he's living in blessing. And he told me he wouldn't be here for most of June. Alvaro Lopez has been sober since, I believe, 2017, 2018. He's been here ever since. All the way to every week almost, I connect somebody in this church who's wanting to walk in recovery with Alvaro. Alvaro will do whatever it takes for people who really want it. If you don't want it, he ain't got nothing for you. Alvaro has stayed sober since 2018. When he's 32 years old in 2018, I know because he's my age, he's 39. Dude, I had to drive him to church. He didn't have a license. He was ashamed. He was just starting sobriety. He had a record. He wasn't getting his license back soon. And he began to work it. He began to work it. He was single for several years. He honored the 12 steps. No distract about what 12 steps are biblical. I don't care what any negative people say. I preach it every Sunday because I grew up in it and I believe it. It's the gospel. It's not just true for addicts, it's true for humans. The word works if you work it. Alvaro he is dedicated to this day to the 12 steps. He works them on repeat. He met Courtney, who's also a recovering addict. This is their ministry. They have helped so many people in Catalyst stay sober. And so what happened is Alvaro gets Courtney. He proposes to her. I believe it was his 4th or 5th year of sobriety. They got married. I did their wedding a few years back. They have a baby now. Alvaro's not here today because he is moving into a temporary living space because him and Courtney and their daughter Anna Grace, who's in Catechids, are building a house now. At 32 years old, this joker didn't even have a driver's license. 39, working it. He is building a house. God is blessing him and Courtney. Their ministry is keeping people sober. He'll do whatever it takes. But here's the point I say that. The reason I say this is there are many people in Catalyst, past and present, who said Alvaro's just a little too much. Oh, he's too serious about this. I don't have to do this. That don't work for me. I've had close friends. I even had some family over the years that say that. Extended family. Every one of them have relapsed multiple times since they said it. Do you know why Alvaro gets sober and has stayed sober? Because he shoots his shots. He shoots his shots, and God is blessing it. Dude ain't even hit 40, and his life's built back better than it ever was because that's how God works. You either want it or you don't. You're either willing to take it and put one foot in front of the other, go to work. I know they divorced you and they left you, but you don't have to pay the price for the next 20, 30, 40 years. You start moving forward. I know they died. You weren't trying to bury them, but you're alive and you got life to live. Shoot your shots. Shoot your shots. Chronic pain. You got chronic pain, I'm going to tell you something. Bradford Williamson is freaking going to infusion, taking chemo in the week, and he's still up. Joker is preaching, and you think he preaches good on Sunday. You ought to hear what he fills my tank. He fills our staff's tank. He's deepening his. He is closer than God. He may be 30 or 40% physically. That Joker spiritually is stronger than I've ever seen anybody. I have never worked beside somebody who is so anointed. He challenges me. His faith intimidates me because he keeps shooting. That dude has his tears. He gets down just like you, but he don't stay down because he keeps shooting. And that's why today he's shooting with his family, because he's worked his tail off. Once again, don't you dare text him this week. That Joker's shooting. My neck, my back, that was... I have chronic neck and back pain. Don't look up that song, young people. I promise you don't. Woo. Man, my last church, I'd have just got fired straight up. If I didn't bring big crowds, they'd have probably fired me years before the church shut down. Sorry, I did that too. Not sorry, really. I'm going to tell you something. You have no idea the work I had to put into keeping my health. Not just neck surgery. I got screws and plates from C2 to C7. Had to do what it take. Injections. I get dozens of injections every other month. Sometimes even in between, because I have to manage the life. I got mountains that God has called me to manage. And you know how you manage them? Tell somebody, say, shoot. I leave the office, I go get me 10 or 12 injections in my back, whether it's Botox injections in my back. Yes, it ain't for good looks. My back ain't pretty, but it definitely makes my spasms more manageable. I get trigger points. I've had to get surgeries. I got wrist surgeries because wear and tear. I don't have to like tote brick. Tourette's has taken a toll on my body. The reason I operate at the level I operate, the reason I'm in the best shape of my life is because I put the work in my 30s to maintain it. I know that you got chronic pain. I know you got some disabilities. You got some stuff. You got some pain because of mistakes you've made and what the wear and tear has done in your life and your body. You got to shoot. If you shoot, God's got some things. He'll bless you. You'll break through. But you want to beat Aram? You shoot. You want to beat Aram? You shoot. I overworked in this church 5 years ago in 2019 or however long it was ago. I don't do numbers. I had a bladder tumor. And cancerous bladder tumor in my bladder. 33-year-olds don't get bladder tumor. I did. I don't get bladder cancer. I did. Every year, for a time it was every other month, they had to put a scope. They're doing it in August again, up my jammy. It's what it is. They're going up in there to make sure I don't have, you know what I'm going to do? I get it scheduled every year, 6:45 in the morning. I'm here by 7:30, pissing razor blades, but doing what I love. Don't even blink. Don't even blink. Because you can't blink, you got to shoot. You want to win? You want to beat Aram? Shoot. Shoot. Shoot your shots. You want a job? You need a job? Shoot your shots. You need a new job? You hate your job? You don't have to work at it for 40 years. That's complacency and stagnancy to stay in that situation. Indeed is out there. You don't even have to run on your off days all day and put in applications like we had to do 20 years ago. Indeed, you can put your resume out there and begin to stand in front of doors, get some interviews. Guess what happens? If you don't get the job or if it's not the job you want, you get practicing saying no. See the accumulation of doing the hard things, what it does in your life? And when God, you don't get doors open until you step in front of them. You don't have to retire at that job that you gave your life to and you didn't give your family to because you overworked and got underpaid. Begin to put your resume in. Baby girl was in a situation. Will and Sarah bought a house last year in our neighborhood. I'm so thankful they live down the road from us, even though sometimes I just want to watch Netflix by myself. I'm just kidding. I love them. They go on the beach with us today too. Sarah she's been trying to graduate grad school since December. She had a ridiculous amount of internship hours to get. She could not work her job. Her current job, it was impossible. Wasn't enough hours in the day this summer to get them done, which would take her graduation back a long time. It's time to graduate. It's time for their next season. They got a lot of dreams and hopes they're working towards, and they're working it, y'all. I am so proud of my daughter and son. They are growing like crazy. Here's the thing. I sat with the Braves game. Something about one-on-one dates. Your kids just open up. They don't get defensive. But I told her. She told me what's happening. I said, girl, you ain't got no choice. You got to take a shot. You got to quit your job right now. So she had to quit a job. She went to her 2 internships, and she asked them for some salary too, because you also got to pay bills. She had no choice. She had to shoot. And she shot. And guess what? Now she's working a job and an internship, and she's getting her hours done. And yes, she had to have some hard conversations. But you know how you beat Aram? You know how you get blessings? You know how you break through? Tell somebody, say, shoot. You got to shoot. She shot. That's how you win. That's how you win. You want to grow spiritually? You want to grow spiritually? You don't just come to church and sit in a seat. There's a seat here if that's what you want to do, but that's a growth will stop. You will peak real quickly. And I say this with confidence, and some people think I'm just wanting you to serve. Catalyst, don't do nothing for me. Don't do nothing. God's going to provide it. God will remove me if I ain't the guy anymore. God's going to do what God does. He don't need us. He wants us. But we tell you to invest and serve and to not just sit in a seat, but serve a table and get in a group and grow. We say it because we mean it. You will not grow just consuming content. Church is not a consumeristic thing, American idea. It's you come and receive and you contribute. It's a family that feeds your faith and you help feed the world's faith. That's the system. And so, do you notice the growth on this stage with our worship team? You notice the growth? It's not just accidental. Don't they? We've been here 8.5 years. We ain't never had singers, and we've never had the leadership on this stage that has affected our entire church and community like now. But it didn't happen accidentally. I know I'm preaching a little bit longer today. Can you give me 10 minutes? Okay. Bradford made a challenge. It is a requirement for everybody on band and production team. Everybody. There's a lot of people. That's like, I think, 40 to 60 people. They are required, if you're on either one of these teams, because we're presence-driven. Everything that God does starts in this room for us. They are required to attend a grow group on at least 3 Wednesdays a month, whether they're on the stage or on the camera or not. They're required. If you don't want to put in the time frame, you don't need to be on the team. We lost a couple people. We made some people mad, but we had to do it because here's the thing: is growth doesn't happen accidentally. It happens shooting. And so we start 7 to 7:30. There are 5 grow groups that split out, and they begin to engage and have biblical gospel conversations. I was so proud. People were skeptical. Some people just quit the teams and stuff. We went back here to the green room this past Wednesday. I sat in Krista's group. She's freaking 16, 17 years old, leading a group. So proud of Krista. I'm telling you, if you ain't met Krista Washington, you missed out on a blessing. Well, she's sitting there. I got to hear Maurice Cooley, who is the coolest bassist. Love me some Maurice. Maurice literally straight said in the group, he said, I was skeptical of all these groups. He said, but now it's a highlight of my week. I didn't realize how bad I needed it. When I tell you to get at a table, you don't realize it seems uncomfortable, but it's for a purpose. It's a shot. Had another one sitting out there right there with his awesome beard, sit there in that group and just said, man, I'm engaging the Word for the first time. He's been listening to Josh's Working the Word podcast. We put out content for you. It ain't just for nothing. It's because you engage the Word. He's been listening on repeat. Oh, do you hear that? Repeat. Did you hear that? Repeat. You keep shooting. And he's reading and loving the Word more than he ever has his entire life, and he's sitting at a table talking about it. I could tell you many more stories that somebody else came in that group, said, I had a rough week. I really needed this today. They were late. They had a rough week, but they showed up just for group. She wasn't on stage this week, just for group. You see, growth has happened on this stage in that we have more unity in this church, even though we have made more changes and lost people. You wouldn't even know it because we're growing like crazy because we choose to shoot. These singers aren't just walking in anointing because they learn how to karaoke well. No, they love Jesus, and they want you to love him and grow like they do. If you want to grow spiritually, you engage. This church, you can come consume and sit all day. You get on a team, you get in a table, you begin to work your faith like Jesus said to work it, and you shoot. That's how you beat wars. That's how you break generational curses. I know you're busy. I know that you got stuff going. Prioritize your shots. Come to church. Keep seeking the Lord. Because when you shoot your shots Aram goes down. Baptism. If it's time for a fresh start, if you know that your next step is baptism, you can hit that QR code right now. Don't even think about it. We're having a baptism on July 27th. We're going to baptize a ton of people before we go into the fall and have the best season of our church yet. If it's your next step, if you know that it's time for you to declare to your family and everybody, just like Jesus said to do and like he did, that Jesus is first. If you're recommitting your life and it's time to take it serious again, let's celebrate. We're going to have an amazing baptism service because you crossed the Jordan, the promised land. To get to the promised land, you had to cross the Jordan. Baptism, you had to jump in the doggone Jordan. That's baptism. You have to cross the line to say, God, I am taking a shot. I'm taking you seriously. You want the power and presence of God to flow in your life and your kids and your family and your legacy. You want to begin to beat Aram and beat the battles and break through and not stay in the bed and live your life in the bed and die in the bed, having never lived. Get your tail up. Cross the Jordan. Some of you need to get baptized. Shoot your shot. One arrow at a time. Our staff in church, Tammy Reed, came to me. Tammy and Dana, they have been blessings. They came to me in January and said, we think we can help you structure and learn to run this like a business because I'm not much of a business-minded manager. So we needed it. She said, you don't have to put the work in. Y'all, I've never grown so much in my ministry. As a leader, my brain, I go home, I can't even think straight because she's right. Our staff is all doing it. The reason we're better at what we do is because we are shooting the shots that God has said, here's the window, take the shots, you decide how big your victories is going to be. That's how. Band, will you go ahead and come on up? Not shooting shots hurts you and hurts others. When he didn't shoot the shots, that meant the whole nation of Israel paid the price of not winning the war against Aram, against Syria. He said, you're going to win it 2 or 3. You're going to win 2 or 3 battles, but you ain't going to win the war. You can't get momentum in your life, and it hurts you. It hurts your family. It hurts your friends. It hurts everybody that loves you because they see you hurting and they hurt because I'm telling you, shooting shots is contagious. The reason we have a church of people who are bold and who are extra and who walk in major faith is because we have a culture. We don't play it safe. Faith is a verb, not a feeling. Surrender. And so what happens is you hurt other people, not just yourself. You model in your life hesitation, anxiety, insecurity. You become a doormat. You let everybody run over you, or you just get pissed off once you hold it in for so long and you push people away and burn bridges. And look at what it's done. Look at what your passivity in your house has done. Your kids have grown up and they are now disrespectful, or they will be, young parent, if you allow disrespect in your home. Because what you don't call out, you were endorsing to your kids. And they will grow up and either get run over or run over people. Both are bad. We hurt ourselves when we don't take our shots. When you stay silent and don't speak up, you may have peace for a minute, but you'll have hell and drama for a lifetime. I'll be mad. I am. Sometimes they're like, Ben's harsh. Yep. Because I ain't playing around when it matters. I'm shooting. If I love you, I'm a coach. I'm coming at you if I love you. If I ain't looking at you or talking to you, I probably don't see much in you. You model that. You hold back. Your family, your friends, your spouse don't even know you because you have been hurt so bad that instead of taking a shot or risking getting shot, you don't shoot because you're terrified of getting hurt again. And do you know what that does? You never, ever truly get to experience love, because I'm going to tell you, you'll get hurt shooting, but you'll never heal or live not shooting. Ever. That's why I tell people online, I'm not hating on you. If you're in the West Georgia area and you're not in a room, be in the room. It's vulnerability. It's a shot. You may get hurt, but you don't find healing until you begin to shoot. It's damaged your life. Nobody knows you, and you have this fear. If they really knew me, they'd never love me, so you just don't let anybody in. If you let people in and you actually open your heart, the right people will stay and the wrong people won't. But you got to shoot to find out. I had to actually start preaching and preaching boldly and saying, this is the type of friends I want. This is the type of life I want. This is what I'm going to tolerate and not. It was messy, but my life is way better now because I shot. You got to shoot. You got to shoot. Tell somebody, say shoot. Tell somebody, say it with authority, say shoot. What you model will make you or break you. You decide. Not shooting your shots hurts you. Stand to your feet and tell somebody, say shoot. Say shoot your shots. Say it with authority, say shoot your shots. Shoot them. The Bible doesn't just call Jesus a lamb. It calls him a lion. He's the lion and the lamb, the Lion of Judah. He is fierce. He is formidable. And you are created in his image. And the same spirit and power that raised Jesus from the dead lives inside of you. I am not Tourette syndrome. I am not Asperger's. I am not my learning disabilities. I am not my bitterness and trauma that keeps me up at night. I am a lion. I am a lion because he made me to be. I am fierce. You play with me. My biceps aren't big. My spirit is a giant. I shoot. You got to know that you're a lion. You got to begin to take shots. You got to begin to stand your ground, to demand respect, to demand it. Don't you walk in a room where our predators, like where we come from. Predators know fear. People that you're so nice and you get run over that people run over you more. Begin to stand your ground, know your worth, expect it, believe it, demand it. God's got something for you. So if I got some people right now, we're going to declare this because the altar is a shot. Surrender is a shot. Show up right now. I'm about to jump off this stage. You come on now. Bring your family, bring your marriage, bring yourself. If you're by yourself, let's declare this. So let's begin to shoot. Let's begin to walk by faith. Let's begin to be a lion. You roar this, declare this, praise this over your family, over your life. God's got plans for you, single man, single mama. You got babies. Some of you reached out to me this week and you asked me to pray for you. Get your tail at this altar and remind me. Let me pray over you. Shoot your shots. Lord, right now, we worship you. We ain't rushing to lunch even though we hungry, even though I preached too long today. Father, speak right now. We shoot. We ask you to speak. We shoot our shots. Feed us. Give us confidence. Help us see that we are a lion. We are lions. You are a lion. We roar this. We prepare the way. We shoot out the window. We shoot for your glory. Heal us, Father. Deliver us, Father. Breakthroughs are coming. Healing's coming. Deliverance is coming. Confidence and peace is coming. You are our person. You are our peace. You are our counselor. You are our Father. Young person, you may not have a father. Oh, young adult, you may be mad because you don't have a father. He's a father. Shoot. Come to this altar. Begin to sing to him instead of strive for a daddy's love. He'll be whatever you don't have. He will be the function to your dysfunction. He will pray. He will bless you, use you. He will blow your mind. Father, right now we sing this.